My name is Rusenica. Welcome to my casual channel. This is where I talk anything casual or monumental in relation to life and life's events. Today we're going to be talking about something very monumental to me, is Beyonce's concert film. I went and I saw the Renaissance tour the last day. On the very last days when she announced that the film was coming out, which was like so cool to have that experience of the trailer playing at the arena. That was so cool to see. But now seeing it, it's astonishing what it took to make this tour. So if you haven't seen the concert or the concert film, just know this is going to be spoiling like most of it, because I'm just going to be going over what I found fascinating, kind of like a review, but like not really. It's kind of just me talking about it openly. I'm not really rating it. I'm not really critiquing. Well, I'm more so just throwing out all my thoughts about it. One of the first things that stood out to me was the fact that she said that it took 4 years to put together the Renaissance tour. And it is just astounding to see the first couple of moments of the stage being set up and what it takes to make the stage. I'd always wondered about that. Like, how do performers get their whole entire stage from city to city for the whole entire tour time? What does that look like? Who does that take to set it up? I guess even like how long, you know? So I appreciated her like putting a time detail on it. She said she listed all of the roles that it took for the tour to come together. There's like hundreds. She didn't list hundreds. She didn't sit there and be like, we have an AD, we have an AD assistant, we have a, but she did run through like kind of a quicker list. And it was just really fascinating. I'm genuinely curious as a creative type to know all the ins and outs of the process. And she did say that in the tour, in the film, that she loves that the tour is beautiful, but she does like to focus on the process. So I appreciate you sharing the process. It took 4 years, and it wasn't just like, I also need to stop saying like so much. I watched these videos back and I just want to delete them because the amount of times I put in a filler word is so upsetting to me. But I'm going to try to stop now. In the 4 years that she was working on this, if it was in relation to these past 4 years, what she's done since is come out with The Lion King. She, I think, was the voice of Nala. Also voiced one of the soundtrack, like her own soundtrack of The Lion King, called The Lion King: The Gift. Came out with a visual movie, kind of like a Lion King. It wasn't a spin-off, but it was based on The Lion King, called Black is King. She also launched a perfume, dropped some Ivy Park. She's done a lot of things in this 4 years. It wasn't just the tour, but you would think that it was because it consumed her so much. I think at one point she said she went 44 days without having a day off. Also, it's pretty insane to think about the idea that she came out with the album years before it dropped and then created a whole entire tour around that album and had to be thinking 4 entire years ahead as to if it would do well, and just kind of hope and pray that it would, even though times have changed, which I think I'm gonna keep saying this, sorry, but it's just how I feel as a creative. I can see how if you give yourself a day off, it'll feel like chaotic. Obviously I don't know Beyonce, I don't know her schedule, I don't know what the heck goes on in her life. But whenever I'm working on a project and I'm just a girl, like a one girl, no team, no nothing, no monetary value, nothing, I can see how if you start a project, you do not want to give yourself set structured hours, because creativity, the vision, everything that comes together just has to flow. And like you can't give yourself a structured timeline on it. I want to know though, what is the start of the process? Because we see the finish, right? The finish kind of was the last show. It was the start of, I guess, this film, maybe. But what was the start? Is the start when she finishes the album and she's like, well, we got to throw out ideas for what the set design is going to look like. We got to throw out ideas for who's going to be hired. We got to throw out ideas for choreo. Like, what is that? I wanted to know that. Not saying that I'm critiquing her by not putting it in there. The documentary was incredibly long. It was 2 hours, 48 minutes. So thank goodness she didn't include some details that I'm curious about. Because some things truly, when it comes to art and documentaries and movies, sometimes you just have to sit with questions that you have. Her love and dedication to her fans is just so apparent. The amount of time she spends looking at the reactions and the fits and the emotions flowing from her fans. And at one point she said, when you're on stage, it's an energy exchange. You're giving energy out, you're receiving energy back in, and it's kind of like a rotation of love. And that was so beautiful and eloquent. It just is very apparent that Beyonce was born to perform and born to be a visionary, to carry out so many things, to inspire other people, to help heal. She said that also, that one of her inspirations or one of her jobs is to make art that heals, and she heals herself, but then that in turn heals others, which is, that just was incredibly beautiful. I could cry. One thing that I thought that she was so incredibly real for was the fact that she put when they lost power in the concert venue, and you're like, oh, you're holding your breath for that moment. Like, what do you even do? So apparently, when they did lose power, Beyonce goes to like her like one central spot. This building is gonna collapse. I don't know if you heard that, but something big just crashed down. She has this one central spot. She like talks with the stage managers, I'm thinking, and talks to everybody to figure out like how to talks to like the technical people, and they like take, I don't know how long it was that she had away from the stage, and gets all ready, and then they're like, we're gonna come in on Alien, and we will go in for the first 4 lines of Alien in 3, 2, 1, and then it's like back. It's crazy. I love the process. I just think that it would be so much easier for her to put in all of the beautiful, perfect, flawless moments into this film, but to show the real, like, this happened and it was a problem and I was kind of panicking. It was so real. One of the things that was also very genuine was the classic Beyonce, like, if you know anything about Beyonce, you know that that girl likes what she likes, and she gets what she wants. And she's very dynamic, and she's a perfectionist, and she's like commander-in-chief. I loved looking at the moments where she was telling her crew what to do, telling people about the vision that she has, and people will be like, I mean, like, well, this is like pretty good, Beyonce. And she'd be like, I want it like this, and I know it's possible, so let's just get it done. I loved those moments. Not to say that she did it like that. She really was kind and eloquent in the way that she spoke. Also firm. Like, you have to be firm to get what you want, especially when you're in that position. Because she says, you know, like, as a Black woman, it just feels like everything is a fight. And it's crazy to hear that from Beyoncé, to say, for her to, like, speak to people on the crew, being like, can I get a wider lens of this? And they're like, this is a pretty wide lens. And she's like, I want a wider lens. That's like, what? It just isn't, it's incredible that no matter how much power you have, you can still feel like you are somebody like not begging to be heard, because she doesn't really need to beg to be heard, but somebody who's asking to be heard and fighting for kind of simple things that do exist, even when you're Beyonce. It's insane. I love that they included a scene where backstage Blue Ivy is watching the show and watching her mom perform. There are so many beautiful family moments of, we see Blue watching the show, we see Blue giving commentary into the show, we see Jay supporting her. I think we only ever saw Jay simply just being there, kind of being like a little show husband, kind of being like, yep, that's it. And I absolutely love that you can see a performer kind of we're kind of exposed to what it looks like to be, and she mentions this so many times, what it's like to be a wife, a mother, a performer, a business owner, and truly just like, I guess, an artist. I know we all make jokes about, oh my god, imagine if Beyonce was your mom. And seeing her mother is crazy. Like, there was this one moment where Beyonce is talking with her team and Blue Ivy's there because she's, I guess, invited to these little meetings. And they're talking about set list, and Beyonce's like, you think we should cut Diva? And then Blue is like, no, don't cut Diva. And Beyonce's like, Blue, I appreciate your excitement. I can't do a Beyonce voice. I appreciate your excitement, but like, just relax. Like, I need you to calm down. This is mommy's meeting. It was so funny. They had the mute challenge shown. I wish they had talked a little bit about that, honestly. I wish they talked about the process of like saying, you know, we should come up with a challenge where everybody just goes on mute when you say mute. The fact that we didn't get to see that is not heartbreaking. It's something that I wanted to see. But like I said, this was 2 hours and 48 minutes. There's no way they were going to include every single aspect of what it took to put everything into the tour. That's just the thoughts that I had. A dancer, Trinity Joy, said that this job, the Renaissance tour, was her first ever job. Can you imagine? Yeah, my first job was dancing for Beyonce in a Renaissance tour. And on her audition video, her wig came off, and she just kept that in and I guess submitted it, and then Beyonce was like, that was hard. Like, the fact that you just kept dancing with your wig off, that was so sick. And she's like, I'd had to have her immediately, which is so interesting. If I was dancing for Beyonce, if my wig comes off, cut everything, we're redoing it. But she kept it. That's like really cool that Beyonce still respects personality and little flaws like that. I did not think about this directly. I had noticed it in the tours, like I'd made little tiny acknowledgments of this. Everybody had platinum blonde hair. If it wasn't platinum, it was blonde. I did not notice that until I watched the film. I noted that like a lot of people had platinum blonde hair, but I didn't think it was everybody. It was pretty much everyone, with the exception of the girl group, what's it called, Pure Honey, and Blue. I think that Blue just didn't have the platinum because I guess maybe her hair is growing. I don't know. She's 11. Speaking of Blue fought to have her to like be on stage, which I think was really cool that they shared that initially Beyonce did not want Blue to be on tour because Blue asked to be on tour, and Beyonce was like, okay, you can be on one song, Blue. Blue, I guess, performed, and then they didn't make this clear if she performed and then saw comments about how people thought that she was bad, and then was like, Mom, I have to do better. Like, you've got to let me keep doing better. So then she just was on the show for the next couple of times. When you're a performer, like, you can't just perform that one time and just be satisfied with it, especially because there are even videos of Beyonce at the very start of the tour versus the end where she's just a lot more comfortable and just dances so much better. So I like that Blue said, like, listen, you have to let me get better, Mom, you do. And her mom listened to that. It's so sick, their relationship, I feel like. But it might not actually be that great. We might find out in a couple years that that's a horrible position to be in if Blue ever comes out and speaks about her experience growing up as a Knowles Carter. There's so many things I could go off on, but I really do want to keep this a little shorter. I don't want to make this like 20 minutes. But I loved the film. It was so cool. That's really it. That's all I have. It was flawless. It's a 10 out of 10. I'm in awe of her, of literally every single thing that she does. I will watch every concert film, every regular film that she takes part in. I'm incredibly inspired, and I will not waste another minute of my life because clearly she doesn't.